Hey, what's up, people? Good afternoon. All right, so I've been discussing a little bit on the chat with Fun Troden over Facebook, and we had this conversation about what he calls thematic mechanics. Basically, those mechanics that certain type of RPG has that are specifically made for them. You kind of discuss it a little bit in this latest video on System Matters, but it's basically you know those mechanics that you don't find in any games. Specific games has them, and they have been built and designed only for a specific type of situation within that game or genre. I'm going to give you a couple examples. One of the most eloquent, for me, I call that emulation. Nowadays I kind of love these kinds of games more and more. The games that it's not just about simulation. It's about emulation. So it doesn't matter if you have a simulationist game or not. I would say that it kind of help. And the example I will give might gonna go in that direction, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure any kind of game can have these kinds of mechanics. So, what I like about these emulative or emulation mechanic is the idea that when you get into that conflict or that situation where you have to use them, they make you feel like, even if you are rolling dices and pen and paper RPG and role play around a table or on Hangout, they make you feel like you're actually doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like they emulate that kind of reality or whatever. I love those. And I realized by chatting with Fawn Troden that I tend to go more and more toward these games. I like the games that has that in them. I'll give you an example, like Aces and 8. In Aces and 8, I never played Aces and 8, but I'd like to one day, I'd like to. It has something called the shotgun clock. And go on the Runeslinger's page, Aces and 8 review. He explains the shotgun clock in a really neat and easy way to grasp. And it's basically a simulator. It's an emulator, like a shotgun shooting with a shotgun emulator. This game has a mechanic to simulate or emulate to shoot in a shooting range with someone, like a duel. When you have a duel between two people with guns in the OK Corral kind of thing, boom, and then you can do it with a shotgun, can do it with a pistol, and so you see the shotgun clock in Aces and 8 is a perfect example of that. In Burning Wheel, you have something called the Duel of Wits, and it's basically a mechanic that helps you emulate a conversation between two people about politics, it's an argumentation. It's like a debate, a debate emulator, and it's amazing because it's so good. It's so well made that the old Burning Wheel game becomes a political game really fast for a lot of people, because most people, when they get into that game, they find out about the Duel of Wits, they go, oh, I like that, and they kind of use them. They use that mechanic so often that the games become some kind of a Game of Thrones setting where everybody discusses politics kind of thing. In Cyberpunk 2020, you have a small example of that in the Look Down. I don't know if it's the Stare Down or the Look Down, I don't remember, but it's super cyberpunkish. It is a mechanic based on your reputation. So what is it? It's basically that you can go and face to face with someone, look in the eyes and kind of stare down on him, and the first one that looks away lose kind of thing. And it's based on the rep, the street cred you have, the reputation you have in this world, you know, in Night City. So you see, this kind of mechanic, you don't find it anywhere else. It's embedded in the genre, in the setting, in the game itself, and it's used for specific things, you know, that you're gonna encounter playing that game. And I really like those. There's many examples out there, but actually the reason why I'm doing this video is because I'd like to know more about these mechanics. So if you guys have any examples, I'd like to come up with examples, but I don't have much experience. Which one? I think Traveler has one for spaceships and stuff. I don't remember. And I would make a distinction, an important distinction though, because in Shadowrun you have the astral system, you have the matrix system and all that. But I'd like to make a distinction. I don't think these are what we are talking about here. I don't think these are what we talk about here, because you basically use the core mechanic in different ways, and the type of mechanics I'm talking about here are specifically those subsystems that are different from the core mechanic itself, that are used to portray something that you couldn't with the core mechanic. And I would say that the matrix rules and the astral rules and all that in Shadowrun, all the little subsystems in Shadowrun, they're not really emulators in the same way like the shotgun clock is or the duel of wits is, you know. So yeah, that's some distinction I'd like to put out there. What do you guys think about those games? I'd like if you can help me. I really need some. I'd like some examples of games like that you've been playing where they have that. So maybe a little description of the mechanic itself, and a little description of the game and what's the purpose of it and the names. So give me some pointers here. If you know some, I'd be really happy to learn about these games. All right, thank you very much. Talk to you soon.